Jane Mansfield. Jane Mansfield's home, the infamous Pink Palace, was not just a house. It was a living, breathing extension of her flamboyant personality. Built in the late 1950s, this bubblegum-colored mansion in Los Angeles was a shrine to excess and eccentricity. Every inch of the property screamed her name, from the heart-shaped swimming pool with a mosaic that read, "I love you, Janie," to the pink shag carpeting that covered not just the floors, but the walls and ceilings of her bathroom. Her husband, Mickey Hargitay, a former Mr. Universe, personally designed many of the home's features, including a fountain that Mansfield would fill with pink champagne during her legendary parties. The house became a symbol of her over-the-top persona, but it also revealed a deeper truth: Mansfield's relentless need to stand out in a Hollywood that often dismissed her as a Marilyn Monroe imitation. The Pink Palace was demolished in the early 2000s, erasing one of the most bizarre landmarks of Hollywood's golden age. Yet, its memory lingers, a testament to a woman who refused to blend into the background, even in death. Buster Keaton. Buster Keaton's Beverly Hills estate was a silent film in itself, grand, elaborate, and filled with hidden surprises. Built in the 1920s, the 20-room mansion was a playground for the comedic genius, complete with a Roman-style swimming pool, a trout stream, and an aviary. Keaton's love for engineering and physical comedy extended to his home, where he installed a secret bar that could transform into a private screening room. The estate was a reflection of his success during the height of his career, but it also foreshadowed his eventual downfall. After a series of financial missteps and a tumultuous divorce, Keaton lost the home, a devastating blow that mirrored his struggles with alcoholism and the decline of his career in the transition to talkies. The estate, once a symbol of his creative genius, became a haunting reminder of how quickly Hollywood could turn its back on even its brightest stars. Today, the property is long gone, but its story remains a poignant chapter in the life of a man who built his legacy on laughter while privately battling heartbreak. Marion Davies. Marion Davies's Ocean House in Santa Monica was less a home and more a palace by the sea, a sprawling estate that rivaled the grandeur of European royalty. Built in the 1920s with the financial backing of her lover, media tycoon William Randolph Hearst, the mansion boasted over 100 rooms, 55 bathrooms, and 37 fireplaces. The estate's centerpiece was a 110-foot-long swimming pool surrounded by marble statues and lush gardens. Davies, a silent film star turned socialite, hosted some of the most extravagant parties of the era, with guests ranging from Winston Churchill to Charlie Chaplin. Yet, beneath the glittering surface of her glamorous life lay a more complicated reality. The home, while a symbol of her success, also represented her dependence on Hearst, whose controlling nature often overshadowed her own ambitions. After Hearst's financial troubles in the 1930s, the estate was sold off piece by piece, and the main house was demolished in the 1950s. Today, only the pool and guest house remain, preserved as part of the Annenberg Community Beach House. The remnants of Ocean House stand as a bittersweet reminder of Davies's rise to fame and the sacrifices she made to maintain her place in Hollywood's elite. Rudolph Valentino. Rudolph Valentino's Falcon Lair was more than just a home. It was a fortress of mystery and longing. Built in the 1920s in the hills of Beverly Crest, the estate was designed to reflect Valentino's Italian heritage, with sprawling gardens, arched doorways, and a grand staircase that seemed plucked from a medieval castle. Valentino named the property after his film, The Hooded Falcon, but the estate quickly became a symbol of his personal struggles. He poured his heart into the home, yet he barely had time to enjoy it. Just months after moving in, Valentino passed away at the age of 31, leaving Falcon Lair shrouded in tragedy. The estate became a pilgrimage site for grieving fans, who left flowers and notes at the gates for years. Rumors swirled that Valentino believed the home was cursed, a chilling thought, given his untimely death. Over the decades, Falcon Lair changed hands multiple times, with each owner reporting eerie occurrences, from unexplained noises to shadowy figures. The house was eventually demolished in the early 2000s, but its legend endures, a haunting reminder of the fleeting nature of fame and the enigmatic life of Hollywood's first great heartthrob. Mary Pickford. Mary Pickford's Pickfair was not just a home, it was a kingdom. Built in the 1920s, the 42-room mansion in Beverly Hills was a symbol of Pickford's reign as Hollywood royalty. She shared the estate with her husband, Douglas Fairbanks, and together, they turned it into a hub for the elite. Albert Einstein, Charlie Chaplin, and Amelia Earhart were just a few of the luminaries who attended their legendary parties. The estate featured a private screening room, a ballroom, and a swimming pool where Pickford and Fairbanks famously canoed for their guests' amusement. Yet, beneath the glamour, Pickfair held a darker story. After their divorce in the 1930s, Pickford became increasingly reclusive, rarely leaving the mansion. She reportedly spent her final years wandering its halls, haunted by memories of her lost love and fading stardom. In the 1990s, actress Pia Zadora purchased the property and controversially demolished it, claiming it was infested with termites and possibly haunted. The destruction of Pickfair sparked outrage, as it was seen as the erasure of a vital piece of Hollywood history. Today, the name Pickfair still evokes the golden age of cinema, but its physical presence is gone, leaving only whispers of its former glory. Douglas Fairbanks. Douglas Fairbanks, the swashbuckling star of The Thief of Baghdad and Robin Hood, was as grand in his personal life as he was on screen. While he shared Pickfair with Mary Pickford during their marriage, Fairbanks also owned a separate estate in Santa Monica that reflected his adventurous spirit. The property, known as the Fairbanks Ranch, was a sprawling retreat with lush gardens, a private lake, and a boathouse. Fairbanks was an avid athlete, and the estate included a state-of-the-art gymnasium and a tennis court where he hosted matches with Hollywood's elite. Yet, the most striking feature of the property was its secret underground tunnel, which led from the main house to the boathouse. Fairbanks reportedly used the tunnel to escape the press or to surprise guests with dramatic entrances. After his divorce from Pickford, Fairbanks spent much of his time at the ranch, retreating from the public eye as his career waned. The estate was eventually sold and subdivided, but its legacy as a playground for one of Hollywood's greatest action stars remains. Fairbanks' life, like his home, was a blend of spectacle and solitude, a reflection of a man who lived for the spotlight, but often sought refuge from it. Alla Nazimova. Alla Nazimova's Garden of Allah was a world unto itself, a bohemian paradise hidden in plain sight on Sunset Boulevard. The Russian-born actress and producer purchased the mansion in the 1910s and transformed it into a haven for Hollywood's most unconventional minds. The estate featured lush gardens, a swimming pool shaped like the Black Sea, and a series of guest villas that housed luminaries like F. Scott Fitzgerald, Greta Garbo, and Errol Flynn. Nazimova was known for her avant-garde sensibilities, and the Garden of Allah became a hub for artists, writers, and actors who didn't fit into Hollywood's rigid mold. Yet, the estate also held secrets. Nazimova reportedly hosted private gatherings that defied the conservative norms of the era, creating a space where guests could express themselves freely. Financial troubles forced her to sell the property in the 1920s, and it was eventually converted into a hotel. By the 1950s, the Garden of Allah had fallen into disrepair and was demolished, replaced by a strip mall. Today, the site is unrecognizable, but its legacy as a sanctuary for Hollywood's misfits and visionaries lives on, a reminder of a time when creativity flourished in the shadows. William Randolph Hearst. William Randolph Hearst's San Simeon estate, often called Hearst Castle, was not just a home. It was an empire carved into the California hills. Built over nearly 3 decades, starting in the 1910s, the estate boasted 165 rooms, sprawling gardens, and 2 massive swimming pools, one of which was lined with gold tiles. Hearst's obsession with European art and architecture turned the property into a museum-like fortress, with entire ceilings, statues, and tapestries imported from centuries-old European castles and churches. The estate also housed a private zoo, complete with zebras, giraffes, and even polar bears, some of which roamed freely on the grounds. Hearst's parties were legendary, attracting Hollywood's elite, including Charlie Chaplin, Clark Gable, and Greta Garbo. Yet, beneath the glamour, the estate revealed Hearst's controlling nature. His longtime companion, actress Marion Davies, often found herself caught between his extravagant demands and her own ambitions. By the 1930s, Hearst's financial troubles forced him to sell off much of his art collection, though he managed to hold on to the estate. Today, Hearst Castle is a state park, but its grandeur and excess remain a symbol of one man's relentless pursuit of power and prestige, even as it came at a personal cost. Jean Harlow. Jean Harlow's Beverly Hills home was as glamorous as the actress herself, but its history is steeped in mystery and tragedy. The house, a modest yet elegant property on North Palm Drive, became infamous after the sudden death of Harlow's husband, Paul Byrne, under circumstances that remain debated to this day. The home's reputation only grew darker after Harlow's own untimely passing at the age of 26, leaving fans to speculate about a supposed curse tied to the property. Subsequent owners reported strange occurrences, from unexplained noises to eerie sensations, fueling rumors that the house was haunted. Yet, the home also reflected Harlow's softer side. She filled it with personal touches, including a collection of books and photographs that revealed her love of literature and her close relationships with friends and family. The house still stands today, a quiet reminder of Harlow's brief but dazzling life. Its walls hold the echoes of Hollywood's golden age, a time when stars like Harlow burned brightly but often faded far too soon, leaving behind legacies that continue to captivate and haunt in equal measure. Harold Lloyd. Harold Lloyd's estate, Green Acres, was a masterpiece of ambition and whimsy, a sprawling 44-room mansion that stood as one of the most extravagant homes in Hollywood. Built in the 1920s in Beverly Hills, the estate featured a 50-foot-long living room, 12 fountains, and 7 meticulously landscaped gardens. Lloyd, known for his daring stunts in silent films, brought the same creativity to his home. He installed a 9-hole golf course, a private zoo, and even a hidden room where he stored his collection of film memorabilia. Yet, Green Acres was more than just a playground for Lloyd. It was a reflection of his relentless drive to succeed. He personally oversaw every detail of the estate's construction, ensuring it would stand as a monument to his success. However, as Lloyd's career waned in the sound era, the estate became a financial burden. By the time of his death in the 1970s, much of the property had been sold off, though the main house remains intact. Green Acres is now a historic landmark, a testament to Lloyd's ingenuity and the fleeting nature of Hollywood's golden age, where even the grandest dreams could crumble under the weight of time. Charlie Chaplin. Charlie Chaplin's Beverly Hills home was a reflection of his genius, a modest yet eccentric property that revealed the private side of one of cinema's greatest icons. Built in the 1920s, the house included a hidden underground tunnel that led to a wine cellar, a feature Chaplin reportedly used to escape the press or to host secret gatherings. The property also had a miniature stage where Chaplin would rehearse scenes for his films, blending his personal and professional lives in a way that few stars dared to do. Chaplin's love of whimsy extended to the garden, which he filled with sculptures and fountains of his own design. Yet, the home also revealed Chaplin's contradictions. Despite his immense wealth and fame, he insisted on maintaining the house's original 1920s decor, a nod to his humble beginnings. The property became a sanctuary for Chaplin as he faced increasing scrutiny during the McCarthy era, eventually leading to his exile from the United States. Today, the house remains a private residence, its unassuming exterior hiding the layers of history and creativity that defined Chaplin's life. It stands as a quiet reminder of a man who changed the world of cinema while fiercely guarding his personal world. Gloria Swanson. Gloria Swanson's Beverly Hills mansion, Casa del Sol, was a reflection of her dramatic flair and larger-than-life persona. Built in the 1920s, the Spanish Moorish estate was a labyrinth of opulence, featuring arched doorways, intricate tile work, and a private chapel. Swanson, one of the first true Hollywood stars, filled the home with exotic artifacts, including ancient Egyptian relics and rare antiques from around the world. Yet, the house held more than just treasures. It also contained secrets. Hidden within its walls was a concealed passageway leading to a private room, rumored to have been used for clandestine meetings and personal retreats. Swanson's love for the theatrical extended to her parties, which were legendary for their extravagance and exclusivity. However, as her career began to wane in the 1930s, the house became a symbol of her fading stardom. Financial difficulties forced her to sell the property, and it eventually passed through several owners before being demolished. Casa del Sol, once a beacon of Hollywood's golden age, now exists only in memory, a haunting reminder of Swanson's meteoric rise and the impermanence of fame. Errol Flynn. Errol Flynn's Mulholland Farm was a playground of indulgence, a sprawling estate perched in the Hollywood Hills that mirrored the actor's notorious lifestyle. Built in the 1940s, the property included a main house, a guest house, and a private swimming pool surrounded by lush gardens. Flynn, known for his swashbuckling roles and off-screen escapades, added a series of unconventional features to the home. A secret passageway led to a hidden bedroom, allegedly used for private encounters, while a two-way mirror in the master bedroom allowed Flynn to observe his guests without their knowledge. The estate also featured a pistol range and a private bar, reflecting Flynn's love of adventure and revelry. Yet, the house also revealed a darker side to Flynn's life. As his career declined in the 1950s, the once vibrant estate fell into disrepair, mirroring his struggles with health and finances. Mulholland Farm was eventually sold and later demolished, but its legend endures, a testament to Flynn's larger-than-life persona and the excesses of Hollywood's golden age. Mae West. Mae West's apartment in the Ravenswood, a historic Hollywood building, was a shrine to her enduring confidence and unapologetic individuality. Unlike the sprawling mansions of her contemporaries, West chose to live in a luxurious yet relatively modest space, which she transformed into a personal sanctuary. The apartment was decorated entirely in white, with plush carpets, mirrored walls, and crystal chandeliers that reflected her glamorous image. One of its most striking features was her custom-built bed, shaped like a seashell, which became a symbol of her unique style. West's home was also filled with memorabilia from her career, including costumes, props, and photographs that chronicled her rise to stardom. Despite her fame, she refused to leave the Ravenswood, even as Hollywood evolved around her. She lived there until her death in the 1980s, a testament to her loyalty to the place she called home. Rumors persist that her spirit lingers in the building, with residents reporting strange occurrences over the years. West's apartment remains a symbol of her defiance and her refusal to conform, a reflection of a woman who lived life entirely on her own terms. John Barrymore. John Barrymore's Bella Vista estate was a Gothic masterpiece, a home that reflected the theatricality and complexity of one of Hollywood's most celebrated actors. Built in the 1920s in Beverly Hills, the mansion was a sprawling property with a library that rivaled those of European castles. Barrymore, a lover of literature and the arts, filled the library with rare books and manuscripts, many of which were hidden in secret compartments built into the walls. The estate also featured a private theater where Barrymore would rehearse Shakespearean monologues and host intimate performances for his closest friends. His love for the dramatic extended to the property's decor, which included antique furniture, dark wood paneling, and Gothic-style chandeliers. Barrymore's eccentricity was further revealed in his choice of pets. He kept a monkey and a parrot, both of which roamed freely around the house. Yet, Bella Vista also became a symbol of Barrymore's decline. As his health and finances deteriorated in the 1930s, he was forced to sell the estate, a devastating blow for the actor who had once been the king of Hollywood. Bella Vista was eventually demolished, but its legend lives on, a haunting reminder of Barrymore's brilliance and the price of fame. Hedy Lamarr. Hedy Lamarr's Hollywood home was a paradox, much like the actress herself. a blend of glamour and intellect with secrets hidden in plain sight. The Austrian-born star, celebrated for her beauty and her groundbreaking contributions to technology, lived in a sleek modernist house in the Hollywood Hills during the height of her fame in the 1940s. The home was designed with clean lines, expansive glass windows, and minimalist decor, reflecting Lamar's forward-thinking sensibilities. Yet, the most fascinating aspect of her home wasn't its design, but what she kept inside. Lamar, a self-taught inventor, had a private workshop where she worked on her ideas, including the frequency-hopping technology that would later become the foundation for modern Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. Few visitors ever saw this side of her life, as she carefully guarded her intellectual pursuits from a Hollywood that often dismissed her as just another pretty face. The house also served as a retreat from the pressures of stardom, where Lamar could escape the relentless scrutiny of the public eye. Though the home itself no longer stands, its legacy endures as a symbol of Lamar's dual identity, a woman who dazzled on screen while quietly reshaping the future of communication technology. Howard Hughes. Howard Hughes's Beverly Hills estate was as enigmatic as the man himself, a fortress of secrecy and innovation that reflected his obsessive nature. Purchased in the 1920s, the sprawling property was surrounded by high walls and dense foliage, ensuring complete privacy for the reclusive billionaire. Inside, the house was a mix of opulence and practicality, with luxurious furnishings alongside state-of-the-art technology. Hughes, known for his aviation achievements and eccentric behavior, installed a private airstrip on the property, allowing him to come and go without being seen. The estate also featured a series of hidden rooms and passageways, designed to accommodate his growing paranoia and need for isolation. One of the most peculiar aspects of the home was Hughes's insistence on controlling every detail, from the temperature of the rooms to the exact placement of furniture, reflecting his obsessive tendencies. As his mental health deteriorated in the 1940s and 50s, the house became a prison of his own making, where he retreated from the world. After Hughes's death in the 1970s, the estate was sold and eventually demolished, but its story remains a chilling reminder of the fine line between genius and madness. Dolores Del Rio. Dolores Del Rio's Los Angeles home was a masterpiece of Mexican modernism, a reflection of her cultural pride and artistic sensibilities. Designed in the 1920s by renowned architect Richard Neutra, the house was one of the first examples of modernist architecture in Hollywood. Its sleek, minimalist design, with open spaces and floor-to-ceiling windows, stood in stark contrast to the ornate mansions of her contemporaries. Del Rio, one of the first major Latina stars in Hollywood, filled the home with art and artifacts from her native Mexico, creating a space that celebrated her heritage. The house became a gathering place for artists, writers, and intellectuals, including Diego Rivera and Frida Kahlo, who were frequent guests. Yet the home also revealed Del Rio's struggles with Hollywood's rigid expectations. As her career in the United States began to wane in the 1940s, she returned to Mexico, leaving behind the house that had been her sanctuary. The property was later sold and altered, but its influence on modernist architecture in Los Angeles remains undeniable. Del Rio's home was more than just a residence, it was a statement of identity and a testament to her enduring legacy as a trailblazer in both film and design. James Dean. James Dean's last home, a modest bungalow in Sherman Oaks, was a stark contrast to the larger-than-life persona he cultivated on screen. The house, which he rented in the mid-1950s, was unassuming, with simple furnishings and little decoration, reflecting Dean's preference for a low-key lifestyle away from the spotlight. Yet, the property held clues to the actor's restless and complex nature. Dean, an avid car enthusiast, kept his prized Porsche 550 Spyder in the garage, a vehicle that would tragically become synonymous with his untimely death. The house also served as a creative space where Dean would practice his lines, play the bongos, and sketch, revealing his artistic side that few people knew about. Despite his rising fame, Dean often retreated to the bungalow to escape the pressures of Hollywood, spending hours alone or with close friends. The home became a symbol of his fleeting life, a place where he could be himself in a world that demanded so much of him. After his death in 1955, the house remained largely unchanged for years, a quiet reminder of the star who burned brightly but far too briefly. Today, it stands as a piece of Hollywood history, a window into the private world of an icon. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and comment. Also, consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell to get notified of our newest videos. Thanks for watching.